Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today and for attending this webinar, Active Tourism in Porto and the north of Portugal. My name is Ana Camerer. I work with Emerging Destinations. We are a sales and marketing representation company in the US and Canada. And today we will be joined by our guests, Catia Barbosa, Luis Coelho, and Paulo Lopes, but you can see your faces now on the screen. And they will be presenting the best of active tourism in Porto and north of Portugal. Before passing everything over to them, a brief overview about how things are working on today's webinar and as well about our company. Emerging Destinations, as I was mentioning before, is a boutique sales and marketing representation company headquartered in Atlanta and working with the travel trade industry in the US and Canada. I'm part of the team led by Jane Barron, and we are proud of representing different hotels, cruises, DMCs, lodges, and some tourism board across Africa, Europe, and the Americas region, as you can see on your screen now. Those are the cool companies in cool places that we have in our portfolio. Besides representing Porto and the North of Portugal Convention and Visitors Bureau, in the Europe continent, we are representing My Malta DMC, which is a fabulous destination for anyone looking for an extension before or after a trip to Italy, especially Sicily. Malta is an amazing destination, so please, if you are getting any requests for this small country, please let us know, and happy to introduce you to our friends from My Malta DMC. We also represent the Trentino Tourism Board in the north of Italy. And we represent Iceland Pro Travel DMC, offering customized FIT and groups around Iceland. So those are our clients in the Europe portfolio. And then we have some other clients in Central America, in South America, and in Eastern and Southern Africa. And very soon, Northern Africa in Morocco. So if you have any questions, if you are interested in learning more about any of these companies, any of these destinations, if you have a booking request, please feel free to reach out to me after this webinar. You can see my email address at the bottom of the screen now, anna@emergingdestinations.com. We can either help you with the bookings, or if you and your teams need to learn a bit more about any specific destination, we are more than happy to schedule a private one-on-one Zoom meeting and go over a specific company or destination. Regarding today's webinar, this webinar is being recorded, so if you need to step away, answer the phone, or just go for a coffee or a sandwich, don't worry about that. We are recording this webinar and we will be sending all of you this playback by the end of this week. So if you miss any part, you will be able to rewatch it again. Also, we will be uploading this recording on our website, emergingdestinations.com. On that website, we have a webinar library where you will find not only this recording, but also some other webinars that we have been conducting in the past, not only for Visit Porto and North of Portugal Convention and Visitors Bureau, but also for the other clients that we have in the portfolio. And we are also uploading this playback on our YouTube channel, emergingdestinations.com. Emerging Destinations, sorry, not .com, that we encourage you to subscribe for. And here again, we have different playlists for the different continents, and you will be able to watch all the webinars that we are conducting. As I was mentioning before, on the follow-up email to be sent by the end of this week, we will be sending you this recording as well as the presentation and our guest contact information in case you need to speak further about the destination with Catia from visit Porto and north of Portugal, or if you have already any booking requests or a trip request, I hope so, for our friends Paulo and Luis, you will be able to contact them directly. All of the attendees are mute, but on the control panel on your right, you will be able to type your questions to either Catia, Paulo, or Luis, and at the end of their presentation, we will have some minutes to answer all your questions live, if time permitting. If we run out of time, or maybe if we get too many questions that we can't handle all of them during the duration of this webinar, don't worry, we will make sure to send a one-on-one email to each of you with the answer to your question. But we encourage you, as long as we have Paulo, Luis, and Catia connected live today, to answer all the doubts, all the questions you have, just typing those on the control panel on your right. So this is all on my side. About our host or guest today, we have Catia Barbosa, who is in charge for the international promotion area or department at Porto and the North of Portugal Convention and Visitors Bureau. We will be also listening to Paulo Lopes, who is the founder and CEO of Portugal Green Walks tour operator. And last but not least, we have Luis Coelho, who is the co-founder and general manager of Portugal A2C Walking and Biking. So I invite you to take a seat, pour a glass of wine, why not, or a cup of coffee, and enjoy this presentation. So let's start with Catia. Over to you, Catia.
Thank you, Anna. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. Now I'm showing my screen. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Anna, for the introduction. My name is Catia. I'm the market manager for long-haul destinations in Porto, north of Portugal. Maybe some of you already joined us in previous webinars, so I won't take long in my presentation, but please know that I'm available for any information that you might need. In Porto, north of Portugal, our goal is to promote the destination, our region, but also our partners. And that's why today we invited both Paulo and Luis to join us to show what the destination has to offer when it comes to active tourism, nature, and the St. James Way, like they are going to explain later, but also to promote themselves and their company. So I hope it helps. So the US market, it's a very important market for Porto, north of Portugal. It's one of our top market. It's a priority on our annual budget. This market, it's our number 4 when it comes to external demand to Porto, north of Portugal, and it represents over 15% in overnight stays. This number, it's growing. We want it to be even higher. That's why we are working with emerging destinations and doing other activities during the year. But it already represents almost 1 million overnight stays from January to May 2024. So it's a very positive. These are very positive numbers to the US market. And this number, it's growing. When compared to last year, same period, January to May, we had in Portugal, not only in Porto in the north of Portugal, but in Portugal, over 12% of growth. So it's a very positive information. Specifically from our region. So Portugal, it's this country, this small country in Europe. It's a short flight from some destinations in the US, not all. I will show you after our connectivity when it comes to flights. But just for you to have an idea, this is where we are located. So the northern region of Portugal. It's this area you see here, but I will go with more detail after these slides. Like I was mentioning before, in Porto, we have an international airport, and we have flights from many places in Europe. We have flights to over 90 destinations from 30 countries in all, not only Europe, but other continents. But when it comes to the North America, we have flights to 3 cities in North America. So these, like I was mentioning before, we have air connections with over 90 European cities, but also flights to different places, different countries outside Europe, like Brazil, US, Canada, Turkey, and Morocco. But when it comes to the stopover in Lisbon, this number, it's even bigger, because we have, especially as we are speaking of the US market, especially in the US market, we have flights from many different cities in the US that connects the US to Portugal, and then from Lisbon to Porto. It's about 40 minutes flight, or less than 3 hours driving or by train. These are some of the airline companies flying to Porto, not to Lisbon, but to Porto. Some of these flight companies you know, I'm sure, like United, TAP Portugal, SATA, etc. But let's just see the detail when it comes to the US flights. As we speak, we have weekly flights from JFK with SATA and also from Boston. These are flights that are going to occur till September. When we talk about JFK, the flights are on Sundays, and from Boston, the flights are on Thursdays. Actually, sorry, on Wednesdays. But from Newark, there are daily flights with TAP and United. United, they have more flights nowadays, so till mid-August, there are flights 2 times a day. So twice a day, there are flights with United. From mid-August, they will have once a day, they'll have flights to Porto. So this is a detailed map of the north of Portugal. Luis and Paulo, they will go in more detail on this map, but just for you to have an idea, maybe you heard about some of these cities, some of these places like Porto, of course, but also the Douro Valley, it's also in our region, the cities of Braga, Guimarães. So we have a lot to offer in our destination. And the great thing about it, it's that from Porto, and usually when we talk about the northern region, we always start in Porto, but from Porto to the Douro Valley, for instance, it's less than 2 hours driving, or to Braga, Guimarães, it's less than 1 hour. So it's quite easy to explore the region, but you don't need to be traveling for a long time. Like I was mentioning before, we have an international airport in the city, or I mean, not in the city, but not far from the city. It's about 30 minutes by metro to the city center. But we also have an international cruise terminal in Porto, and of course, international train station in Porto with trains coming from Spain. And mentioning Spain, so from Porto to the border to Spain. Again, less than 2 hours. So in about 1.5 hours, you can cross the border anywhere in Spain. Like I was saying before, it's impossible to talk about the region, the northern region, without mentioning Porto. Porto, it's of course the entrance door to our region. It's where we have the Porto and Cellars, the river, the Douro River, the sea, the Atlantic Ocean, and all year around there are events, cultural events happening in the city. So it's a destination that you can repeat, and it's always something new happening and very fun, I can assure you. Now it's summer, we have beautiful days. It's a great destination to visit, but it's the starting point to explore the region. So please do not stay only in the city of Porto, but explore the region. Paulo and Luis, they are going to explore one of our main products. So apart from nature and adventure, we have other products we like to promote and we can offer. But this webinar, it's mainly about nature and adventure. And if you are interested in other products like luxury, families, LGBT, tourism, please, you can just write me an email. You have here my contacts, and I will be pleased to help. Okay, so Luis, over to you. Okay, let me just.
Okay.
If you give me one moment, you are.
Screen. So, can you see my screen now?
We can, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Luis. I'm Portuguese. I'm with a great pleasure to talk to you about Portugal and the best places that you can visit in Portugal. Me and Paulo, we are friends and we cooperate. So if you need anything from Portugal in terms of nature or adventure, you can talk to Paulo or to me. It's the same, because we don't compete. We share values, and most of all, to be sustainable and to have a good type of tourism. In terms of nature and adventure, I will talk you in the first moment about the coast, all that coast in Portugal. We have a lovely and very pristine coast in Portugal, coming from the Spanish border until south of Porto, and there you have a lot of things that you can do there, but really a lot. It's pristine, is not very pressure in terms of tourism. And what can you do there? What can you do in the Atlantic coast? You can do lovely walking trails. Paul will talk about Santiago Caminho, but you can do different type of walking trails there. But you can do too some cycling routes. The best cycling routes and cycling paths in Portugal are in Porto and in the north of Porto. So you can profit from the northwest wind in the back and simply visit from one small fisherman town to another one, biking or cycling or enjoying, combining, and be happy for a while. But you can do some horse riding or some golf for people who like golf. But in the coast, for sure, you cannot never forget. You can never forget water sports in terms of canoeing, diving, kayaking, but mainly surfing. You can surf in Portugal, yeah, and especially in Porto all year round. Let's say in Montesinho you have some surf schools where you can do some surf and combine with wine, culture, and the rest of the activities in the area. So please come to Porto and don't forget to visit us. Now I think, Paulo, it's your turn. I will pass to Paulo. Yeah. It's your turn, Paulo.
Okay. All right. So let's introduce the Peneda-Gerês National Park. The Peneda-Gerês National Park is located on northwest Portugal, bordering Spain, on this small area that you see there. And it is one of the greatest cross-border reserves in Europe, and it has been recognized as a biosphere reserve by UNESCO in 2009. So the Portuguese side is this green area that you see here with my on my screen, and on the right side of this area is the Spanish side of the park is the Gerês. So in Portugal, the name is Gerês, and in Spain it's Gerês. So this is a transboundary national park. The Peneda-Gerês National Park occupies an area of 700 hectares, so it's a lot for the area, for the region, and it is a region of mountains, deep valleys, and lakes. The national park has a remarkable botanical diversity, like woods and forests, as well as animal species like Iberian wolf, Iberian wild goat, foxes, Garran wild ponies. Because it is a park that has been alive since prehistoric times, it is also rich in historical and cultural heritage, such as megalithic necropolis, traces of Romanization, castles, mountain villages, traditional granaries, mills, traditional ovens for baking bread, dams, and so on. So these are a sample of picture of the park with lots of diversity. What can you do in terms of active holidays in the national park? Hiking trails. There are lots of hiking trails that cross the park. Different difficulty from the easy for families to exchange challenging ones that go to the peaks. Cycling trips is not so common, but there are some beautiful routes. You can do jeep tours, mainly to the lakes and to the waterfalls. You can do horse riding also in different places. Mountain picnics, canoeing, canyoning, and rafting. So in terms of active holidays, the national park is an amazing area. You can choose the best what you like to do, and there are companies to provide amazing experiences for the clients. Now, Luis, it's your turn. I need to do something.
Yes, you need to share with me.
That's on me. That's on me. I'm just
it's
sorry. Sorry.
So now you see me again?
Yes.
Good. So where am I? Peneda-Gerês, let me, sorry. I was in the wrong place, but I do it faster. Okay, so now I will talk about Douro Valley. Douro Valley, as you can see, it's the heart of the Douro River, and is the most luxury area in around Porto. And let's say, in terms of nature and culture, where everything is connected, and you need, when you go to Porto, of course, you need to visit the coast, the Peneda-Gerês National Park, but you cannot miss Vila Real. If you want, you cannot miss the Douro Valley. And I will talk a little bit about Douro Valley and some of the assets that you can see there. So why is it so important to go to Douro Valley or Monte Vasto area? Because some of the best hiking trails in Portugal are there. We have Senhora da Graça, but you have two levadas. All the knowledge that we use nowadays in Madeira levadas, were made by people coming from Monte Vasto, from people who know how to drain the water from the mountains to the villages. So here we have some of the most beautiful walking trails. But you have some cycling routes. Imagine cycling along the vineyards, along the river. You can do some e-bike tours. You can do some challenging road bike tours, but you can do some trekking or some easygoing downhill bike tours. But you can do some activities too, like me and Paulo thought before. You can simply visit this lovely landscape typical from Douro Valley, like the great vineyards and the great Douro Valley itself. You have some boat tours, some cruises that allow you in small groups or in some big groups to visit again that lovely area. You see the vineyards all over. That's a lovely experience. You can combine these with biking, hiking, or other activities. But you can do some canoeing too. Why? Because it's the river comes from Spain, the Douro River. It's not very technical, very difficult, and it's easy again to combine with some other activities. But as Paulo told in Peneda-Gerês, some of the best experiences in Douro Valley are the vineyards. So a lovely picnic in vineyards is something that people never forget, and something that we always include in our guided and self-guided tours. So, and again, the wineries and wine tastings, because wine is culture, and the old port wine, but the sparkling wines from Lamego, or the typical and very good Douro wine, red, white, and rosé, never makes anyone indifferent to this experience. And combining everything, you can combine the culture and the gastronomy. You can come in time of the harvest and participate in the harvest, taste the lovely wine, and again do some activities in the very wild and pristine area in Portugal. Now I will pass again to Paulo. Sorry, not this one. Paulo, I will pass to you.
Go ahead, yes. We're seeing your screen.
I will pass to you because I cannot see Paulo. Sorry. Can you share with Paulo because I cannot see Paulo?
Yes.
Thank you, Katia. In the first time I saw it, now it was not possible.
It's okay?
Camino de Santiago.
All right. So now let's introduce the Camino de Santiago, and especially the Portuguese Camino in this area. The Camino de Santiago is the first and the most famous European cultural route, and it is a network of many different paths, all leading pilgrims to the city of Santiago de Compostela, with the Cathedral of Santiago as final destination. So Santiago de Compostela is here. Each route has its history, heritage, and charm, and there is a route for every interest and ability. Examples include the French way, the Portuguese way, the Northern way, and primitive way, as you can see on the picture. These are maybe the best known, but there are many more routes. So just to have an idea. For centuries, religious pilgrims have followed the way to St. James in search of spiritual fulfillment. But today, people have a wide variety of reasons for taking one of these hundreds of kilometers by foot or by bike. Examples could be spiritual reasons, exercise and well-being, adventure, disconnect, to reconnect, and just fun, for example. And about the Portuguese way. The Portuguese way is a fantastic option for pilgrims who are a little short on time especially the way between Porto and Santiago. And why? As Catia told you, we have an international airport, so you can fly from anywhere, arrive in Porto, and start your journey next day, for example. So you don't need to for example, one of the other caminos that start in Spain, fly to Madrid, and from Madrid fly to another place, take a bus and so on to go to the starting point. No, here you can arrive in Porto and next day you can start. And you can fit this experience, if you start in Porto, in a 2-week holiday. So it could be our perfect time to spend and do this experience. So from Porto, there are 2 main routes: the coastal Camino, which spends some but not all the time by the ocean, and the traditional one is a central Camino, which stays inland. So if you search a little bit more about each one, you can see the difference between one and another, and you can choose the best for you. Just to have an idea, on your left side, you have a map with the stages of the Central Way from Porto to Santiago. And if you follow it, the green landscapes are just breathtaking, with Roman roads, bridges, flowing rivers, medieval towns, fortress, and fascinating folklore. You can do this in 12 walking days or 6 cycling days. So the Camino can be done on foot or by bike, as I mentioned. If you select the coastal way, it starts in Porto, again, follows the Atlantic Ocean all the way to Galicia, offer contact with the incomparable beauty of the sea and the coastal communities that depend on it. If you follow this route, you have 1 more walking day than the previous one and 1 more cycling day than the Central Way. But why you should choose the Portuguese way? Okay, if there are so many caminos or so many routes, why you should choose the Portuguese way? First, because this Camino is the second most popular and less crowded route. And another attractive, it passed through 2 countries, allowing you to see villages in both Portugal and Spain along the way. If you start in Spain in different points, you only see the Spanish side of the Camino. So here you have more diversity. You have excellent flights connection to the city of Porto, as we mentioned before. The route is well signposted, and it is relatively easy to follow. And there are many accommodation options available. This is a critical point. If you walk long distance and at the end you don't have a village, a nice place to rest, and it is a stress if it's a crowded route. And finally, it gives you the opportunity to taste both Portuguese and Galician cuisine and wines. Okay, so from Porto to Galicia, there are a lots of experience you can do in terms of what to taste, and in terms of different wines you can combine during the way. And here, as a resume, you can see the difference between the Central Way on your left side and the Coast Way on your right side. So basically, until Pontevedra, this point in the mouth, it's a different route, and from Pontevedra, Caldas de Reis, Padrón to Santiago is one single route. So they join near Pontevedra, and they follow just one route. Luis, it's your time.
You show my screen. Here you go. Everything okay, Katia?
Yes,
Katia?
go ahead. Yes,
Go.
yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
So now I will thank you for being there and waiting for our presentation. Now we will talk about for a while in our company. Our company uses the brand Portugal A to Z Walking and Biking. We are experts in Portugal, and as you can see, as we're going to see, we are 21 in the company. This is some of our teams. Pedro here in the right side is our CEO and leader in the company, and those are some of the people from our team. Myself, I will be 60 this year. I work in tourism since a long time. I'm economist, and when we create this company in 2006, I can tell you this is my dream job. So I think that's I do what I love to do, and I do it with a lot of pleasure. And what we try to do in Porto in our company is to organize tours and experiences that we really love. That's what we do. So what we are in some different combinations. We are a company with that we cover all the country. Let's say we have 4 offices, one in Porto, another in Fundão, inland, another in Penela, and another in Leiria. But in the same time, we cover with partners some regions, like in Azores, in Madeira, in the north with Paulo, and in the south with Bike2 Portugal. Those are some of our companies that allowed us to cover in the north the Douro Valley that I told you before, Mondim de Basto and Vinho Verde region, or biking along the Atlantic coast. But as I told you, if you have we are talking and focus here about Porto and North. But if you have some suggestions or needs from the Azores, Madeira, some historical villages that border to Spain with a lot of small castles that allow us to hiking or biking from one castle to the other, or Fatima ways similar to Santiago, Alentejo, or in the south Algarve, we have a lot of offer for that. And what type of products we have? It's not too fast. When we talk about, I talk you about the Atlantic coast. What we do in the Atlantic coast is we have some offer that starts in the Spanish border and comes until Porto, and some other that starts in Porto and goes south until Lisbon. Because from Porto to Lisbon, along the coast, you have some bicycle paths that allow you to biking and combining during for a week. Usually it's a 1 week program. Lovely one. Those are some of the views, some sand beaches, and with the northwest wind in the back for biking is the best options. Those are some kind of products. We have 8 days, 7 nights self-guided or guiding tours. We have some hiking tours operated by Paulo. They operate those lovely hiking in the north part of Porto. But you can come and make some Porto to Coimbra. Coimbra, it's a lovely city in the center of Portugal, and you can combine some 7 days, 6 nights, or you can combine some 14 days biking all along the coast. Some of the area that I talked before, it was the Pes da Régua, Lamego, and the Douro Valley. In Douro Valley, we have some. Those are some of the offer we have. Some bike rides, self-guided or guide, 8 days, 7 nights, that allowed you to bike in historical villages and Douro, combining simply, and roads totally empty, perfectly secure, that allow you to visit the historical villages and Douro too. Or, as I mentioned before, walking in Douro Valley. Those are some of the products that we have in our portfolio. But of course, we have much more offer that you can see in our website. This is my information, my personal information. Feel free to contact me, and of course we have some FIT offers and some groups, and we pay commissions for sure. And if you need anything from us, feel free to contact me. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. To me, it was a pleasure.
Your turn, Paulo.
I will share.
Yes.
Thank you.
You can see?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So, as has been already introduced, I'm the founder and CEO from Portugal and Walks. My background is system engineering, and I worked during 20 years in IT field. And after I decided to move to change my life and created the Portugal and Walks tour operator in 2012. Since that, I think I'm realized, because I found the way. I mean, I love what I do, and what we offer is a mirror of this love what I have from the region. Well, we are based in Ponta de Lima. Ponta de Lima is this blue dot in northwest Portugal. It's 70 kilometers from north from Porto, and 30 kilometers from the border with Spain. So it's a nice village surrounded by mountains, rivers, and the coastline close. So the company established since 2012, and the idea is to offer experience to the visitors to explore the countryside and the Portuguese heritage in a slow way and with responsible travel. This slide should be the most important one. It's our identity. It reflects everything that we do strategically, and basically it says that we sell walking and cycling tours in a typology of self-guided. The destination is North Portugal and Galicia. Our market is the international market, and our clients are 50 years plus. So this is our DNA. It reflects everything that we do. It's condensed on this picture. So we are very well focused. So with this in mind, we are Northern Portugal specialists. So we work only in North Portugal and a small area of Galicia, and we know very well this region. We offer, as I told, self-guided hiking and cycling tours, adventure and activity tours for FIT and small groups in different areas of the region. We are very focused on customer satisfaction, offering safe programs of recognized quality. Great care is taken on the logistics, including 24 hours emergency support, detailed route information, accommodation, and luggage transfer. Most of the routes are easy to moderate, having attention the type of our clients, with quick access in case of rescue, and with good mobile network coverage. That's important. Since in the wild areas. In terms of numbers, just to have an idea, since we began, our business is growing every year. You can see here in 2020, 2021, what's happened, the COVID, okay? But after that, we start growing again. And I can tell you that for this year, we already passed the 5,000 clients. It's a very good number. In terms of markets, our top 5 markets, the first one is United States. The second one is Denmark, United Kingdom, Germany, and Australia. And at position 6 is Canada, just to know. So this is our best markets. Our logistic, for each client, we do a face-to-face briefing on the first day. We have a 24/7 customer support line. In case of bicycles, we provide, by the way, electric bike and mountain bike. So we have both. So if a problem occurs, we are able to repair or change them quickly because we are near the routes. And we have a professional and dedicated team for luggage transfer. Okay. In terms of documentation, each client receives a personalized road book with all the information to complete the program. And this is a sample of you can find inside the road books and the navigation. And here you have the information how the navigation works. So all the detailed information, point to point. And for operators, partners, we prepare all documentation with the image of our partners. So we act as a white label. And we include also, or the clients have access also to a app that installed on the smartphone. And it works as a complement to the roadbook information. On this region, on North Portugal, our programs are split on the coast with the coastal routes and the Caminho de Santiago. On this point, we have the Peneda-Gerês National Park routes programs, the Douro Valley here, and near the border with Spain, you have the Coelho Valley and the Douro International Park, where we have different activities. Some pictures about the area, each area that I'm talking, the Atlantic coast, what you can see, what you can experience. We have here several walking and cycling routes. Normally, our routes are 1 week. Only on the Camino, you can expand from 1 week to 2 weeks. But sometimes the clients combine different programs and stay more time with us. So, some image from Peneda-Gerês National Park with traditions, the gastronomy, the animals, the landscapes, amazing landscapes. As you can see, you have some mountains and deep valleys. And on Douro Wide region, we provide walking and cycling tours, but also you can combine all these programs with boat trips along the river, and also nice picnics on the middle of vineyards, and of course visit some wineries and taste the port wine and Douro table wines. We have also walking tours in a more wild area of northern Portugal, is the UNESCO Coelho Valley, and it's famous because they found there rock arts, like you see on the picture on your right side. And in our program, we include a visit with a guide at night. That's the best part of the day to see the rock art on the rocks. And you have the Douro International Natural Park. It's a park border. It's near the Spain, as you see on this picture. This is the Douro River, and we are on the Portuguese side, and the other margin is Spain. So we are close to Spain. This is a very old region, and the cultural signs you can find it everywhere. So monastery, a church, other signs from 15th, 16th century you can find there. In February, it's a highlight in the area because this is a region of almond trees everywhere. So in February, you see the trees white, and it's like a snow day. Related with Camino, we are the biggest Portuguese tour operator, providing the Camino, the Portuguese Camino de Santiago. We provide it on foot or by bike, and we provide the Central Way and the Coast Way, the ones that we talked before. Some pictures about the Camino. This is in Ponte de Lima. This is in Santiago Compostela, the cathedral. Different pilgrims, happy pilgrims near the coast. So there are a lot of choices. And finally, our team. We are a young team and very dedicated team that would like to help you on the next program to North Portugal. And finally, I would like to thank you for your attention. And this is my let me see, because this is my contacts. So I will be happy to help you on this. Okay. Thank you very much. Katia, it's your time again.
Now it's Anna time, I'm sure. Anna. Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Paulo.
Yeah, thank you both for your presentation and for sharing those great ideas to explore Portugal with your companies. Now I encourage all our travel advisors connected live to type your questions on the control panel on your right. The first question I have, okay, could you please repeat the name of Mr. Colo company? Is A to Z, walking and biking, right?
Yes, exactly. Please? Yes, Portugal.
And don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. We will be included in the follow-up email that you will get on your inbox this Friday. Paulo, Luis, and Katia contact information. So you will get their email addresses, their phone number, as well as the company name and website. So you will get that information. We have Casey. I wish there was a way to capture a screenshot of these materials. Don't worry about that. On the follow-up email, we are including this PowerPoint presentation, so you will access that information, and we will include also the recording in case you want to listen to that again. Another question we have for either Luis or Paulo, where does the Douro River originate, and do you know how deep is the river?
How deep? Not at all, but it's deep enough for some big cruises. Some go up from Porto. We have some cruises that and some big boats that go from Porto until Régua. That means it is deep enough for some big boats, some cruises. You can
well,
even
I found something in. Yeah, I found something in Google. I don't know if this is correct, but it says maybe something around 40 meters. Is that possible?
It's possible in some areas. It's a canyon. The river occurs. The river occurs in a deep canyon. So in upper Douro is more profound than in the south, near the coast. But it's deep enough to have some cruises and some big cruises over there. You can even sleep in some boats. So it's something quite important.
And it originates in Spain and ends in Porto, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It ends in the Atlantic Ocean. So
exactly.
It's in Porto, it's where the Douro River and the Atlantic Ocean, they meet. So it's an area we call Foz, and it's here in the city of Porto. So it's a very beautiful place to be.
Awesome, thank you. Then we have a travel advisor that needs a guided day bike trip around Porto or Douro Valley. Does any of you, either Luis or Paulo, can help on that, on day trips?
Paul can speak by himself. It's not our focus, but since we have my team in Porto, we run some day tours in Porto and in Douro Valley, some guided ones, not self-guided. It's not our focus, but we can do. We do it from some good companies, some partners.
Yes, we have the same. We have the same. So it's not our focus, but we provide to our clients some day tours in Porto and also in Douro Valley and also in the Peneda-Gerês National Park. So if they want to do just a short visit, we provide a guide to do that.
Awesome, thank you. Then we have a question from Jim.
Excuse me, Anna, just one detail important. From Porto to the National Park, to the Peneda National Park, it's more or less by car 2 hours and a half. And if you want to go to Douro, is 1 hour and a half. So it's easy to, if you are based in Porto, you can go to the National Park and return on the same day, and the same to Douro.
Okay, awesome. Then another question from our friend Jim. How does northern Portugal differ from Galicia? The coast seems at mostly lower altitude in Portugal. Is that correct?
From Porto to, so the coast in northern Portugal is completely flat.
It's not Costa del Morte.
Okay.
And from Porto to the border with Spain is 120 kilometers, I guess.
Let's say that Galicia and the north of Portugal, in terms of geography, they are quite similar, except in the coast. That the coast in Portugal is sand, have a lot of sand beaches, and in the north of and in Spain, it's more rocky one.
Okay, thank you. Then another question from Sue. What is the best transport from Lisbon to Porto?
I can say train.
Train, car, bus,
yeah,
plane. It depends how sustainable you want to be and how fast you want to be.
Yeah, usually you can say, Anna, for instance, we don't run the operation, we don't recommend to bike from Lisbon to Porto because you go all the time against the wind. So what we recommend to be sustainable is that they take the train to Porto and they bike from north to south, from Porto to Lisbon, because they have the northwest wind in the back and it's easy going.
And the train takes, sorry, Paulo, the train takes about 2 hours and 40 minutes. So our fastest train, which is not the fast train, it's like the fastest we have. It's not like it's a bullet train, it's just the fastest train we have, okay?
Yeah.
But it's almost 300 kilometers, and it's 2 hours and 40 minutes, more or less, from Lisbon to Porto, or Porto to Lisbon.
Okay. What is the best time of the year to travel to Porto and the north of Portugal? I would say it's a year-round destination, but maybe you can share with us like the highlights of each season, why you should go, or what to see in winter, what to do or to see in summer.
I could go for the Douro Valley, because they mention it during the presentation. Usually September, it's the harvest season, so it's a very beautiful time of the year to be in the region, especially in the Douro Valley. It's not in Porto, or it's mainly in the Douro Valley, and it's not as warm as it is today. For instance, in July it might be a bit warm to cycle or to walk, but Luis and Paulo can help me. And even in the national park, maybe it's peak season during July and August. Maybe you won't have the experience you expect if you travel in September, October. So, but
yes. The question,
you guys help me.
July and August, you have tourists everywhere. It's too hot with these climate changes. And of course the experience is not so pleasant. So my advice is come on spring, April, May, and after in autumn, in late September, October, because you have the weather is nice. The temperature is also okay, is warm. But if you want to go to near the coastal line, so July and August is the top, of course.
In our case, what we do, we try not to operate in August because we want to be sustainable. So we think that August is not good for accommodations, restaurants. So we try to avoid August. That's what we do. We do since a long time in our company. But if you want to visit the area, I will say from the end of February, beginning of March until the end of November, with the Indian summer, it's always good. But try to avoid, as Paulo said, July and August.
Early December, is it possible still?
Yes. If we run some biking tours in December, from north to south, of course.
Let me just add something regarding July and August. Last year, Porto, north of Portugal, was the most visited region in Portugal, but like we call it internal tourism. So the Portuguese tourists, they chose Porto, north of Portugal, which means that this is summertime in Portugal, and everyone has or at least the ones that don't work in tourism, they usually have their vacation period in July and August. So they travel to the north of Portugal. That's why I have more people in the national park, for instance. But it's internal tourism, so Portuguese people that are enjoying what the north has to offer as well. So it's not like it's over tourism, it's more Portuguese people enjoying what we have to offer in the north of Portugal. So if you could come in other during the other time of the year, that will be great. Even in December, not if we are not talking about of course the active tourism only, but for instance December, it's a very beautiful time of the year to be here, like everywhere else, because it's the Christmas. So we have Christmas market, Christmas lights, so it's not as cold as other destinations in Europe. So it's
December is more suitable for cultural programs.
Exactly.
Okay, city programs, cultural programs, to see the cities, museums, visiting the wine cellars, and so on. So it's more
Yeah.
that.
It's true.
Awesome. And then the last questions, yes, the last 3 questions on today's webinar, because we are running out of time. What are the dates of the Christmas market?
Usually the Christmas lights, they start in the 1st December or 8th. It depends on the 1st or on the 8th. But usually it's on the 1st. There are in Porto, in the city of Porto, in the main avenue, there's a big Christmas tree, and there's a big party just opening the Christmas markets and the Christmas tree and the lights and so on.
Awesome. Second question, do you offer boat charters on the Douro River?
We have some partners that do it. So if this person can send me an email on my follow-up email, I can share some contacts. Or
of
maybe
course, yeah, we will ask Sandy to send you what she needs. And then the last question, the question that we are getting in any webinar about Porto and north of Portugal, because it's such a beautiful destination. Any fun trips planned for the remainder of the year or 2025 for our tour operators and travel advisors in North America?
We'll have a big fan trip later this year because there's an event, we call it a reverse workshop. So we are inviting agents and tour operators from the United States and Canada to come to Portugal. It's going to be in October in the Algarve, and we'll have some post tours. So our fan trip this year will be, and you know, Anna, we had some fan trips already during the first semester, like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But next year, for sure, if you are not joining us this year in October in the Algarve, so next year for sure we'll have some fan trips. Yes.
Do you still have any spot available for the one in October in case anyone wants to submit?
These fan trips are connected with the events, so with the workshop.
Okay, I see.
It's only for the participants on the. But if Luis and Paulo, I don't know if you have some fan trips as well. So
yeah, that's what I want to say, Anna. You need to consider that both Paul and me, we organize some fun trips from some of our guests, and if any one of you want to come and visit, please contact us, and maybe I think we have the opportunity to receive you.
Awesome. That's great news. So this is all for today's webinar. Sorry that we took much longer of your busy day. Sorry to our travel advisors, but I think that they were really very engaged with the topic and with the destination. So everybody just stay there listening to you. So this is really good. So thank you everybody, our host as well as our travel advisors, for being here today. Remember to check your inbox this Friday. You will get the follow-up email, which include Paulo, Luis, and Katia contact information, company name, websites, all the info that you need, the PowerPoint presentation, a nice video about the active Porto and north of Portugal that Katia shared with me, and this recording. So remember, anything you need, you have my contact information. Feel free to drop me an email, and I can forward that either to Katia, Luis, or Paulo. In case you can't wait until Friday, just send an email to me and I will make all the connections. Luis, you want to say something?
No, that's all. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Adeus.
Obrigada.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.